I can't play the bongos.
Help! What are the latest fashions?
Help! Do you have change for a dime?
Help! I think I just killed somebody. Help me!
People, please, don't worry, I got this. Brought to you, as always, by half-frozen ice cubes.
Hey, there's water in there.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of I Have a Film Degree. I'm Al Hi-Fi, and as always, I'm very, very old. Before we really begin, I want to introduce you to a tool of the trade. This is, of course, a Roku remote. Now, you might ask, what's so great about that? Well, I'll tell you. I have a garage with a TV in it. It's not a man cave. Unfortunately, I don't really have the funds, but I do have a garage and I do have a TV. That is indisputable. And I just want you to take a look at this remote for a sec. This is not your regular everyday Roku remote. It's actually Triple R Rat Roku Remote.
Rodentally chewed, mouse masticated, in a word, eaten by rats.
Anyway, the movie is You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, and guess what? It's for 13-year-olds, which is pretty much Adam Sandler's MO. And I gotta say right off the bat that I'm one of those fair weather Adam Sandler fans, meaning I pretty much hate everything he does, especially if he has a hand in writing it or producing it under the Happy Madison banner. And I'm one of those snobs that likes him as an actor, like Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love and the Meyerowitz stories. But his way of cranking out unfunny comedies really gets my gander. And I'll never forget watching Waterboy and going, this is the worst comedy I've ever seen in my life. And of course, everyone knows the Happy Madison house style, which is everything is super light, super silly, super nonsensical, and super unfunny. Other tropes that Sandler likes to use in his movies are, say, old people swearing, which is always never funny, putting his favorite actor slash friends in the movies for no reason. My favorite example of this is Grown Ups 2, where I'm sure there was a big argument about whether to put Rob Schneider in the movie. Schneider was in the first one, but, you know, as Schneider gets older, he gets more and more unpopular. I mean, people really hate him. But I was optimistic about this new Netflix movie, which I thought would take him in a different direction, because looking at the credits, I saw he didn't write it. So I was like, bam. One of my favorite things about Sandler is his Jewishness and how he loves to talk about it, even though the world wants to forget 8 Crazy Nights. And it was a comedy about an East Coast Jewish family, which I can get into because I grew up Jewish on the East Coast. I thought maybe this is a solid, really funny Jewish movie. And maybe the biggest gimmick of Bat Mitzvah is his family stars in it. His 2 young daughters, and his wife also appears in it, although she doesn't play his wife in the movie for some reason. Idina Menzel plays Adam's wife, which is weird because they played husband and wife in Uncut Gems, but that's kind of cool, I guess. The film revolves around a 13-year-old Sunny Sandler who's getting ready for her bat mitzvah. And I gotta say, Sunny Sandler is very charming, very cute. Of course, when it comes to a wealthy Jewish community, bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, they're all ostentatious and proof of the family's wealth. Whereas my bar mitzvah was pretty much the opposite. I had my bar mitzvah at an Orthodox temple because I went to Hebrew school there. We were not Orthodox, but it was the closest temple to our house. My temple had the women sit on the sides. That's right. And my ceremony lasted about 3 hours. And all I could see when I was sitting up there next to the Torah waiting for my portion was all my friends in the front row just squirming and dying of boredom and in so much pain. For the first half an hour or so, I was charmed. It was silly. It was a little funny. But as it gradually went on, I was like, this is just another Sandler movie. Of course, the feeling is super light, fluffy, and silly. Of course, he has old people swearing. Of course, he has his friends in it for no reason, like Louis Guzman, who is a great actor but does not belong here. As the movie went on, I was just like, why am I not laughing? I'll tell you why. It's all stupid energy and vapid nothingness. Sarah Sherman plays the funky rabbi at the kids' Hebrew school. I like Sarah Sherman. She's one of the more daring performers on SNL, and she also celebrates her Jewishness often. So I was happy to see her, but you keep waiting for her to do something funny or say something funny, and there are kids in the movie that do impressions of her, which signals to you that she's like an amazing character and memorable, but she's not. What left me scratching my head is that it takes place in this weird, suburban, rich community. Everyone is Jewish, even the people of different nationalities. But this neighborhood that this family lives in is not of this world. The Hebrew school seems better funded than the regular school. Back in Newton, I had to go to Hebrew school too, and I f***ing hated it. I resented it so much. I tell you, at my Hebrew school, I was not the class clown, I was the class terror. I was so angry at being there that I would cause a lot of trouble and purposely get kicked out. The fact that all these kids seemingly love to go to Hebrew school is really disgusting to me. And the turning point where I knew this movie is batshit insane is where we meet a young Latino boy who is in love with Sonny Sandler's character. And this kid, who is not Jewish, hangs out at the Hebrew school because everyone else is there? I don't understand this world. This is more of a Koreshian, Branch Davidian kind of setup here. All I want to do is free these kids from this fakakta world. And this community of 13-year-olds doesn't make any sense. On one hand, they're being taken care of 24/7. They got school, and then they got Hebrew school. On the flip side, they're always going to each other's houses where their parents are never there. They're always having parties and snogging. And there's a very weird scene of this gang all hanging out at a quarry by themselves, and all of a sudden it turns into the Hebrew breaking away. You know, rock quarries, the most dangerous place you can possibly bring a child. Even though I was amused for the first half an hour or so, this movie really was a letdown. And I should have known, because it's a Sandler movie. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and share. Most importantly, subscribe and hit that alarm button. Remember, I have a film degree, so you don't have to.